Welcome one and all to Laser World of Photonics India. Today, Photonics Exchange podcast partner Laserman India. Well, with us, our esteemed guest Carlos Lee, Director General EPIC, EPIC. Carlos Lee has been leading EPIC since April 2012, following his transition from SEMI Europe, where he managed standards, technical programs, and strategic industrial initiatives. EPIC is one of the world's premier photonics industry associations, serving over 500 plus members, including companies, academic institutions, and research organizations globally. The consortium focuses on areas such as lighting, LED, OLED, telecom, photonics, laser manufacturing, sensors, and live photonics. Prior to EPIC, he held his leadership roles at SEMI Europe, managing its international standards program and advocating for competitive industry framework across sectors like semiconductors and photovoltaics. Lee emphasizes translating breakthrough in photonics research into real-world manufacturing products. He actively encourages networking and participation in global industry events and participating in approximately 30 such events annually. I welcome you, sir, to this talk.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor for me to be here and a pleasure to be in Bangalore.
Great. So my question to you is, EPIC has become cornerstone for Europe's photonics industry. Could you share how organization has evolved over the years, its biggest contributions to shaping the global photonics ecosystem?
Well, you flatter me by calling it a cornerstone, but it is a fact that we have become the largest photonics industry association in the world with the most corporate members. In fact, EPIC has more than 800 members, 820 to be correct, and these are usually companies along the whole photonics value chains, from components manufacturers to equipment manufacturers to integrators. And I think our biggest contribution is indeed to bring that whole value chain of the photonics industry, but also across all sectors, going from health, going to automotive, defense, and all industrial applications. So we are able to tackle any question related to photonics.
Great, thank you. Translating photonics research and development into scalable products remains a challenge. What strategies does EPIC employ to help its members bridge this gap and achieve market success?
While I have all due respect for science and research development, I believe that these technologies have to be put on the market for the people to benefit. Publishing a paper is a great start, but if it stops there, how do people benefit from that? So I believe in industry. This is why I joined EPIC. And again, as you said, it's the European Photonics Industry Consortium, which is composed of companies. These companies manufacture products, which are then bought by other companies, and these products find their way on the market to benefit citizens, peoples, or factories. So I think what is very important is to be able, as you said, to translate these technologies into products. But to be honest with you, the companies that become member of EPIC already have that mindset. But we do promote a lot of entrepreneurship and try to encourage people who have invented something to put it as a commercial product.
That's great. Well, how does EPIC contribute to building industry standards, frameworks, and collaborative platforms that accelerate photonics adoption across diverse sectors?
Standards is actually a topic which is very close to my heart because it is the first job that I did. As you mentioned, I worked for SEMI, which is the Global Semiconductor Industry Association, and for 7 years I worked into standardization. The major difference between semiconductors and photonics is that semiconductor is a standard manufacturing process, while photonics is such a broad scope. And I think it is a bit too early to talk about standards, but what we can already do and what we do is to reduce options. I'll give you an example. If you manufacture photonic integrated circuits, you've got to package it. There are no standards at all into that packaging thing. And creating a standard, it's too early, but we could reduce the options. What do? We bring the actors along the photonics chain to talk about it. So we'll have a company which is a customer of photonic integrated circuits, together with a foundry which is in packaging, together with the equipment suppliers, and these people need to have that dialogue in the back of their mind. They need to know that if you want to create a market, a consumer, large volume market, you need to bring down the cost. And I believe you cannot reduce the cost unless you standardize. And you can see this across all industries, whether it's aeronautics, automotive, or industrial standards is a requirement for driving down the cost of the products.
Great. Sincere thanks. Wonderfully answered. You came to EPIC after serving as director in SEMI Europe. How has that background shaped your leadership style and approach at EPIC?
My background at SEMI did not actually so much affect me in terms of leadership. What I would say is that this background of working for a high volume, reliable, high-tech manufacturing industry, which is the semiconductors, is the direction that photonics needs to go. Today, photonics is still too much high mix, low volume, and they need to have standards, they need to have market reports, they need to have technology roadmaps, and that is not there yet. The value chain of photonics is also much more complex because most of the companies are small companies. In fact, 86% of our 820 members are small companies of 30 to 50 employees. How do you get to know 1,000 companies? And that's just Europe. So the value chain in the semiconductor industry is much more known. We know who are the big players. We know who are the big customers. So I think that a lot of my work is to bring together all of the actors of the value chain.
So, a time came when pandemic came all over the world. So it affected the economy, it affected the world a lot. The pandemic and geopolitical shifts have underscored and need for resilience. How is EPIC working to strengthen supply chains and ensure sustainable growth in photonics?
Well, companies are actually used to these kind of situations. It could be an earthquake, it could be a flooding in Bangkok, which disrupts the value chains. It could be a war that disrupts the value chains. It could be a disease that disrupts that. I think companies are used to deal with crisis. It's
Right.
just that each time it's another one. But the habit of managing uncertainty, it's part of that. So what we do is we actually bring people together. We bring them. So for instance, we had the tariff situation, and for the tariffs, we had already 2 online meetings. We had physical meetings, and we have the people talk and share their strategies. So I think when you bring smart people together, they will find a way.
Definitely. Great. Wonderfully answered, sir. Looking ahead, what is your vision for EPIC and global photonics collaboration over the next decade, sir?
I believe that companies need to collaborate. I think that every region has strengths and that we have to exploit the best of every part of the world. This is why I'm actually here doing a delegation trip, bringing together European companies to India so that they get to know this market. I do this also in other parts of Asia and around the world. So I think that my contribution is to bring people from all over the world together. And when I say global, I mean global. I don't mean just USA, Europe. I mean also Asia. So I think that is my contribution, is to create events where you bring the leaders and the technology experts of the world together in one room.
Great. Sir, a message for us. We, Laser India, we are publishing magazine, right? It is basically related to the creativity of new innovations which company came up. At the same time, we are into conference, we are into research and development, we are into innovative technologies which are coming up. And it is basically space for businessmen also to showcase their own new technologies, right? Any message for us?
I think it is very important for companies to support magazines, to support exhibitions. I do not see a way for an industry to develop without those resources. Again, I repeat, you have to have industry associations, you need to have exhibitions, you need to have magazines, You need to have all of these activities that bring people together. And sometimes we tend to forget it, because when you have it, well, you kind of take it for granted. But I cannot see a way that the industry will efficiently develop without that, and everybody needs to support it. People need to advertise to keep the magazines going. People need to exhibit to get the exhibitions going, and companies need to pay a membership fee to support industry associations.
Great, sir. So this was the message from Carlos Lee, Director General, EPIC. Sincere thanks to Carlos Lee for we are really honored for your presence, sir, and thank you so much to become our esteemed guest for today. Sincere thanks to you. Thank
you very much. Anything to support Mesa Munich and Laser Photonics India, it's my
Great.
pleasure to support you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.